straight to the market action of the day then. A rally in the second half of trade led to another strong day for the bulls. The Nifty ended above 11,500 mark and the Sensex also held strong above 38,300. Both those indices ended over 0.5% higher and the mid-caps rejoined the party to rise in line with the benchmarks and the index ended close to 1% higher. The Nifty Bank mirrored this and is now up more than 200 points in only 7 trading sessions. Surbhi Upadhyay is with us now for a detailed wrap of today's trading action. Surbhi, the bulls are refusing to loosen their grip on the markets.
Well, what do you say? Another day and the same story. This market is firmly in control of the bulls. And it's amazing how buying just keeps coming back in waves, wave after wave. The first half of the day was a little lackluster, but the second half, we had the momentum come right back in. And today, mid-caps have also participated. In fact, mid-caps did slightly better than the frontline indices as well. The large-cap rally, of course, was nothing to ignore either. It's all liquidity fueled and right now it's running on adrenaline. Let me quickly come down to stocks and talk about some of the big Nifty winners. Bharti Infratel, which anyway has been the stock of 2019, had some more weight added onto it. Reliance Industries has been breathtaking, up about 1.5% today, up almost 11-12% in March so far. It's been a stunning rally on RIL. That continued. ITC was another strong pillar for the market and there was about a 2% gain on Z Entertainment as well. Interesting reversal in the IT side of the market. As the rupee backed off from the recent heady levels, there was a resurgence of interest in stocks like TCS, Infosys, Wipro. Most of these IT names have actually ended at the highs of the day. So that was another leg that really started working for the bulls. Good day for banks. Steady gains coming in on the likes of HDFC Bank, SBI, Axis. ICICI was a little muted, but nonetheless positive for most of these stocks. The only down part of this market continues to be auto. The news has not been good. More talk of production cuts. So that hit stocks like Eicher Motors today. Hero Motor was down. And JSW Steel also saw some profit taking. Let me come to the big story, the deal of the day and the dynamics that played out. Here's how the stocks fared. LNT finally ended down about 2%. Minetree was also off by about 2%. And finally, there was profit taking in Cafe Coffee Day, about a 4% drop. So all 3 stocks ending in negative territory. Let's now come to mid-caps. As I said, the interest was really back. There was a lot of sizzle and flare in this market. Some examples, Make Money Organics from the specialty chemicals arena, Liberty Shoes, Tin Plate, financial stocks like Edelweiss having a great session. Obviously, with some of these resolutions happening for Hotel Leela, etc., some of the lender stocks are doing very, very well. Godrej Properties, because at least there's some sort of a transition being now proposed for the implementation of GST on real estate. And some PSU banks like Union Bank and Bank of India also did well. Not too many losers on the mid-cap screen. Jet Airways, obviously such a news-driven stock. That one was down about 3%. Dish TV and Just Dial were also on the lower side. But as of now, it's 11,500 and more. Let's see, the bulls are showing no signs of giving up.
Absolutely, Surbhi. Thanks very much for joining in with that. Now, the big corporate story that we've been tracking for you today, the crisis at debt-ridden Jet Airways continues. The airline's partner Etihad is not yet on board with the current resolution plan and is even offering to exit if it comes to that by selling its stake either to the lenders or to a new investor. With time running out and Etihad and Naresh Goyal still seemingly at loggerheads about the terms of the resolution plan, and the lenders are likely to get into a huddle this evening hoping to find a resolution. We're given to understand that with Etihad ensuring or communicating to the lenders that it will not invest any money into Jet Airways unless differences are resolved, and these range from the number of board seats that Naresh Goyal should get or where his stake should be capped at for perpetuity. Unless these are resolved, Etihad is not willing to put in any further sum, and if matters come to a head, it may even exit. Now, with all these alternatives in mind, the lenders will be meeting to find a way forward, but we're given to understand that NCLT is a route that the lenders are looking to avoid at all costs because it will lead to cancellation of lease agreements of the airline and therefore amplify the problems rather than solving them. Remember, under FEF 12 circular, they do have time until the end of June to find a resolution, failing which they will be forced to send Jet into NCLT. But for now, they are hopeful that negotiations will yield fruits and they continue to be in talks with both Etihad and Jet Airways. Now, moving on, LNT has finally announced the acquisition of IT firm Minetree despite a strong opposition from Minetree promoters. In a late-night statement, LNT said it would buy VG Siddharth's 20% stake in Minetree for over 3,200 crore rupees. LNT also made an open offer for acquisition of additional 31% stake, and LNT will also purchase up to 15% of Mindree's equity from the markets. Now, LNT's stake in Mindree after this deal will jump to about 66%, subject to the successful market purchase and open offer. And it was a day of high drama with the LNT and Mindree managements holding press conferences. In the morning, the LNT top brass said there is no hostility and that they are doing this straight from the heart. The Mindree management hit back later, asking LNT if this is the kind of example they want to set for the IT sector, which has not seen a hostile acquisition till date. LNT chairman A.M. Nayak spoke to CNBC-TV18 and claimed that LNT did try to get the Mindree promoters on board, but that attempt failed.
We have been hearing for last 3 years that now the many promoters want to exit. And instead of private equity and other investor taking, company of LNT reputation, who knows how to run IT business, because we have already, and we are good to employees always, which is our very, very strong principle. It is good for both the companies. I can't understand what is hostility in that. Somebody or the other is going to take the company. No, not in near future. Both has a separate shareholder. Both has a separate customer. It will run. Both the companies will run separately. It will be hopefully someday, when the promoter want to exit on their own, at that stage we will think what to do.
We have not attempted any takeover out here. It was a significant shareholder of Mindtree who was persuaded us to invest in Mindtree, and that's what we have done. We have not done anything which is different to it. We have done whatever we have done, and we have invested our very hard-earned money, where there's a lot of emotion, passion, and sweat and blood and tears involved, into this company, and that's the way we look at it with Dil and Pyar.
All our large shareholders have given very strong intent to support us through this journey.
Rostav, what is the purpose of this buyback? And we understand obviously now there are a lot of impediments to it. You said the board will consider it, but really will it go through tomorrow?
I can't predict, right? I mean, the board will consider all the facts and make a decision.
Is there any buyout offer from L&T? I know the promoters have said that they don't want to sell, but is there any buyout offer given the circumstances that you'll consider?
No such offer has been made, so therefore no such question can be answered at this stage.
All right, so that's the mega deal in the making. But moving on, here's the other big story we've been tracking. After slashing GST rates on under construction projects and affordable housing in its last meeting, the GST Council today approved the transition plan for the new rates for residential property. The revised GST rates will now be mandatory for new projects from 1st of April, but the Council is yet to discuss the time limit for the transition with the states. And as CNBC-TV18 has been reporting, developers will have the option to switch to the new GST rates for projects that are under construction as of the 31st of March. Now, the switch to new rates will mean proportionate reversal of input tax credit in terms of flat prices. The Council mentioned that it should not go up, else they will have to invoke anti-profiteering norms. Listen in to the Revenue Secretary Ajay Bhushan Pandey making those announcements.
The projects or the residential buildings which are incomplete as on 31st March 2019, those buildings will have an option, and that option also will have to be exercised within a time limit, and that time limit will be decided in consultation with the states. So those buildings will have an option either to choose the old rate, that is 12% or 8% with input tax credit, or the new rate, that is the 5% without input tax credit or 1% without input tax credit.
Now, most two-wheeler companies are set to cut production. The inventory levels with two-wheeler makers are as high as 80 to 90 days, forcing them to cut production to rationalize inventory at the dealer levels. Now, reports suggest that Honda, Hero MotoCorp and Royal Enfield may slash production by as much as 15% from March right up to May. Bajaj Auto, however, has told CNBC-TV18 that they in fact might raise production in the months to come. Sonia Shenoy joins us now with an analysis of this story. Sonia, what does it mean for the two-wheeler industry? Is a slowdown in the making?
Well, the situation is quite grim in the two-wheeler space. We understand that players like Hero MotoCorp, Honda as well as Royal Enfield will be cutting production by up to 15% from March till the month of May. That's because inventory levels are very high at the dealers' end. Inventory levels in the two-wheeler space have touched 80 to 90 days compared to an average of 20 days that we had earlier. Also, sales have been dwindling and the expectation is that demand will fall further because of the new costs that are coming into play from the 1st of April 2019 with respect to the anti-lock braking systems, the combined braking systems as well as the new emission norms. All of this put together will result in bikes getting costlier by almost 7,000 to 8,000 rupees, and the fear is that that will lead to a further slowdown in demand. Hence, auto component players are also going ahead and cutting their production to the tune of almost 8 to 10%. Brokerages have cut down their growth targets and price targets on the stocks. So HSBC, for example, has cut its target price on Hero MotoCorp to 3,500 from 4,000 earlier. They say that volumes are likely to remain volatile in the coming quarters. LKP Securities, who we spoke to earlier in the day, says that the production cut is in line with the subdued demand in the market, and we do have higher costs like the new emission norms and the anti-lock braking systems that will hit demand in the coming future. So they have scaled down their growth estimates for the sector in FY20 to single digits.
All right, Sonia, thanks much for joining in with that. Now, the government has paused the new LPG enrollments under the Ujjwala scheme after the imposition of the Model Code of Conduct. Sources also say that the oil marketing companies have sought clarity from the centre on allocation of new fuel dealerships. The government is likely to refer this matter to the Election Commission. Anshu Sharma has been tracking that story and joins in with all the developments. Anshu, what have you picked up on this front?
With Model Code of Conduct in place, we learn new enrollment for LPG connection under Ujjwala will pause till a new government is formed. So far, 7.15 crore beneficiaries have been added. The target is of 8 crore LPG connections under Ujjwala by 2020. We also understand that about 20 lakh enrollments of beneficiaries under Ujjwala are at various stages. On the other hand, we learn from sources that oil marketing companies have sought clarity from Oil Ministry whether award of fuel retail dealership can continue since Model Code of Conduct has already kicked in. Remember, oil marketing companies advertise 78,000 locations for fuel retail dealership across India. We understand that of 78,000 locations advertised, about 76,000 bids have been received. About 20,000 single bids have already been identified by the oil marketing companies. 11,800 dealerships have been awarded via lucky draw, which means about 44,000 bids are yet to be ascertained by the oil marketing companies. Government so far has given about 4,800 letter of intent to the bidders for fuel retail dealership. Considering dealership award is a process undertaken by the oil marketing companies, Oil Ministry may ask the companies to seek clarity from Election Commission on dealership award. Back to you.
All right, Anshu, thanks very much for joining in. But it's not only the Ujjwala Yojana that has been paused because of the Model Code of Conduct. Sources tell us that the Election Commission has clarified to the Agriculture Ministry that no new beneficiaries can be added under the PM Kisan scheme post the Model Code of Conduct kicking in. Now, in what has come as a big win for the Modi government, a London court has issued an arrest warrant against fugitive diamantaire Neera Modi. Remember, Neera Modi is the main man accused in the Punjab National Bank fraud case, and the arrest warrant comes in response to an Enforcement Directorate request for his extradition to India in connection with that case. Neera Modi is expected to be arrested by the London Metropolitan Police soon. CNBC-TV18 Sanjay Suri, who's been tracking down Neera Modi at London's Oxford Street, has more on this.
Well, this here is Centre Point in London, just on Oxford Street, and this is where Neera Modi has been staying. We did bump into him finally after a long vigil, after several days of vigil, one has to say. There have been questions that we, of course, needed to put to him, particularly after the order from the court issuing an arrest warrant against him. Neera Modi had very little to say about that arrest warrant or about the path of the extradition process ahead. No doubt he's been advised by his lawyers to keep quiet on this. What we are likely to hear by way of his defense is almost certain to come now in court. In London, Sanjay Suri.
Goa's new Chief Minister Pramod Sawant confirmed that he will face a floor test in the state's assembly tomorrow. He has also expressed confidence about winning the vote with support from BJP allies. Pramod Sawant was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Goa at 1:30 a.m. today. In more news then, with less than a month to go for the Lok Sabha elections, voices within the Congress are still divided as far as an alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Congress leader PC Chako today said that senior leaders believe that defeating BJP is an immediate responsibility, and for that, an alliance with AAP is needed. This statement comes after former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit wrote to the party president Rahul Gandhi against such an alliance with AAP. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal had earlier said that he was tired of convincing Congress for an alliance in New Delhi.
Delhi leaders probably might have expressed their opinion about an alliance and its consequences. But as far as I know, there are senior leaders of Delhi who think that, defeating Modi, defeating BJP is the immediate responsibility or task before the Congress. For that, we should forge an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party. Rahul Gandhi ji, our president, will take a decision on this in few days' time. And the policy of our party, as decided by the working committee, is to go for alliance with parties who are opposed to BJP. So I am sure that the Delhi leaders also will follow this policy decision of the Congress party.
More election news then. Priyanka Gandhi is on the second day of a 3-day river journey campaign in Uttar Pradesh. The Congress General Secretary offered prayers at the Sita Samahit Sthal in Bhadoi, after which she answered a few questions asked by the media. Priyanka took a dig at the Yogi Adityanath government by saying that even though they have given a 2-year report card, there has been no development on the ground.
ये रिपोर्ट कार्ड प्रचार ये लगता बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन ज़मीन पे कुछ नहीं है। मैं रोज़ लोगों से मिल रही हूँ, रोज़ मुझे यही पता चल रहा है कि चाहे किसान हो, नौजवान हो, स्टूडेंट हो, शिक्षा मित्र हो, आंगनवाड़ी, आशा बहू, सब प्रताड़ित हैं, उनको कुछ नहीं मिला। कहीं कहीं ऐलान हुआ है कि 17,000 की आपको वेतन मिलेगा और आज तक नहीं मिला है। 2 सालों से 8,000 पे चल रहे हैं। तो प्रचार करते हैं और जो होता है उसमें बहुत फर्क है। और जहाँ तक इनकी ये 70 साल वाली रट है, इस रट की भी एक्सपायरी डेट है। 5 साल से आप सरकार में रहे हैं, 5 सालों में आपने क्या किया?
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said that the Modi tsunami will blow away the opposition in Uttar Pradesh. He also went on to add that BJP will get majority in the state by winning over 74 seats and will also return to power at the centre under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Meanwhile, former UP Chief Minister and Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav has said that the opposition leaders should focus on relevant issues.
कुछ जगहों पर त्रिकोणीय व संघर्ष को जरूर करेंगे। जहां पर ठोक बजा करके अच्छा कैंडिडेट देंगे तो वहां पर तो त्रिकोणीय संघर्ष में वे लोग अपने को लाने में कुछ जगह सफल होंगे, लेकिन शेष जगह पर एक तरफा भारतीय जनता पार्टी होगी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी का प्रत्याशी इस वेब में जो मोदी जी के प्रति है और मोदी जी की उपलब्धियों से जो सुनामी आएगी, इस सब सुनामी में आप देखेंगे कि सपा बसपा का गठबंधन हो या कांग्रेस का गठबंधन, ये सब उड़ते हुए दिखाई देंगे। कहीं इनका वजूद दिखाई नहीं देगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी 74+ के लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करेगी और मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में पूरे देश के अंदर प्रचंड बहुमत की सरकार बनेगी।
अब जब चुनाव बिल्कुल दरवाजे पे खड़ा है, उस समय अगर आप कोई कंफ्यूजन करेंगे तो जो बड़ी लड़ाई है किसानों की, नौजवानों की, गरीबों की, वो लड़ाई कमजोर होती नजर आ रही हो। तब जिससे लड़ना है हमें, जिससे मुकाबला है, उस पे सबसे बड़ी ताकत है ध्यान हटाने की। ये लोकतंत्र में नई परिभाषाएं आई हैं, नई तरीके से चुनाव हो रहे हैं। जहां ब्रांडिंग एंड मार्केटिंग की बात हो और जिसके पास ध्यान हटाने की ताकत हो, तो मैं समझता हूं कंफ्यूज नहीं होना चाहिए। जो फैसला ले लिया गया है उसी फैसले पर आगे बढ़ना चाहिए।
DMK has also released its manifesto for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, and the party has promised to make efforts for the release of all 7 convicts in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case. The party has also said that it will scrap medical entrance exam NEET if it comes to power, and will also focus on strengthening the federal structure. And DMK's arch-rival AIADMK has also released the manifesto for the Lok Sabha polls, and the party has promised 1,500 rupees per month to families which fall below the poverty line. It has also vowed to bring back education to state list and get the exemption for Tamil Nadu from medical entrance test NEET. The AIADMK also promised to release Rajiv Gandhi's case convicts. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of After the Bell, but do stay tuned to CNBC TV 18. Markets Today Talkback will take all the action forward.